Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Password, sir?
Fidelia.
Thank you, sir.
Please, come forward.
Who do you think those people were? Those were not just ordinary people there. If I told you their names, I'm not going to tell you their names, but if I did, I don't think you'd sleep so well.
Some of the most powerful men in the world are gathered in this clearing. Members of one of our country's most exclusive clubs. Invitation only, unless, of course, you invite yourself. They gather here to seek God between the branches of these magnificent trees. They eat together, they piss next to each other, and they carve up the world like a Sunday roast. This is where the real power is. Some of the most powerful men in the world are gathered in this clearing. Invitation only, unless, of course, you invite yourself. Some of the most powerful men in the world are gathered in this clearing. Members of one of our country's most exclusive clubs.
Hail Fellowship's eternal flame. Midsummer sets us free.
This is where the real power is.
The owl is in his leafy temple. That's all within the grove. Be reverent before him.
Time and time again in my research, I come, well, eye to eye with something that's even hard for me to believe. And that's that the elite are obsessed with the occult, from presidents to governors to the heads of industry. We've all seen the stories of presidents and first ladies obsessed with their astrologers making national policy decisions upon their recommendations, spiritual guides, shamans in the White House. My friends, it gets far worse than that. Now, I personally am a Christian, but even an atheist should be concerned about the information we're about to bring forward. For over 120 plus years in Northern California, in Sonoma County, on a 2,700-acre secluded redwood grove, leaders from around the world, prime ministers, chancellors, presidents, governors, again, the heads of industry, banking, academia, the media, Hollywood, only a select few, a little over 2,000 people, travel there to engage in bizarre, ancient Canaanite, Luciferian, Babylon mystery religion ceremonies. At least that was the rumors. And so I went to the library and got on the internet and saw many of the mainstream news articles admitting that World leaders do indeed go there, and they fly into San Francisco, drive out into the rural hills and mountains of Northern California, and that these stories have been coming out that they worship some 45-foot stone owl god. Why are world leaders traveling to the middle of nowhere to worship this thing? We successfully infiltrated through the Secret Service, through the guards, through the Sonoma County Sheriff's Department. We were inside 4 hours. That's only 1 day out of the 2 weeks that they meet there for the admitted Summer Fire Festival of the Bohemian Club. It's hard to even describe it with words, and I hope that our hidden cameras can give you at least a small piece of what I witnessed. To have world leaders engaging in this type of sickening behavior just shocks the very foundations of what Americans believe their leaders to be. And then to have it intimately connected with world government. It doesn't make a lot of sense until you research history. All throughout history, spanning back into the mist of the beginnings of civilization, we see world leaders from the empires of old engaging in twisted behavior. By the turn of the century, there was already a 10 to 15-year waiting list. The roster of the Bohemian Club reads like a who's who of the elite. Look at this photo taken inside the Grove back in 1963. There you'll see Ronald Reagan, and sitting 2 people over from him, later to become president, Richard Milhous Nixon. Take George Bush Sr., documented member. And then, of course, there's his son. Now, the last 4 generations of Bushes have also attended the Skull and Bones Society at Yale, well known to be steeped in the occult. Then there's Bill Clinton, a frequent attendee. Upon closer inspection, the entire federal government at the highest levels is infested with Bohemian Club members.
I think it's more Babylon mystery religion. All of the elements are there. Of course, even the owl is a symbol of ancient mystery Babylon. The owl was worshipped by the ancient Egyptians and by the Babylonians.
We've all read in the Bible about throwing your children to idols. So it's weird behavior, definitely, so it needs to be investigated. In fact, I was reading some of the talks that they've given and they've released that the Bohemian Grove has discussed, and it's all population control, world courts. You're talking 20 years ago. So definitely some stuff's going on here that's pretty important. But is it the ultimate elitist retreat? I would imagine those we don't even know the names of. This is probably just one more steering committee where they bring in a lot of underlings and high-level corporate chieftains that really aren't the upper top echelon, make them feel important, and then implement some type of strategy. To me, Bohemian Grove is probably a way to compromise people. You want to be in the New World Order Club, but I got a problem with governors and presidents and prime ministers and corporate chieftains running around and doing this when they have so much power over what happens in the public domain. I'm Alex Jones. I make documentaries. I'm just curious, what do you think about Bohemian Grove?
I used to work there.
You used to work there?
Yeah.
And now you work at Camp Meeker?
No, I don't work. Yeah, I live in Camp Meeker.
Oh, you live there?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Did you ever watch the Cremation of Care?
No. No.
What'd you do at the...
I just worked there.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
you never saw them march around in the red robes? And
No.
Oh, really? That doesn't go on?
But yeah, I get it.
Okay. Thanks.
There's all kinds of rumors about rituals that go on there.
What would you say if I told you that they sacrifice a human in effigy before a giant 45 to 50-foot stone owl?
I would say that's probably why they're going to hell.
It was the night of July 15th, 2000. Mike Hansen and I were about to attempt the first ever successful infiltration of the Bohemian Grove. Others have tried and failed. No one has ever actually made it in and out with video evidence. Entering the gorge by stealth and getting into the main parking area. From there, we posed as Bohemian Club members.
Be careful, Mike. God bless.
Yeah, pray for us.
Aren't they the biggest? Oh, they are. They're the biggest. Okay.
Yeah.
Come.
Here's just one of many signs sporting French with skulls adorned with other trappings of death. We also saw signage with Latin and other ancient languages. Now we're about to let you see a little bit of what's going on with the great owl.
I'm getting this, Allie.
Let's get out of here.
Here you can see the bottom of the stone owl with the altar and the eternal flame, a Aladdin lamp style urn that continually burns year around, we're told. It's at least 45 feet tall. Now, the daytime vantage you're witnessing is basically the vantage that we shot the ceremony from at night. This is America, and it's been going on for 120 plus years in Northern California. Mike and I traveled high into the hills to wait until dark and the beginning of the cremation of care ceremony. After the feast, cult members travel from the main dining area under the trees out to the eastern side of the lake, where they congregate and prepare themselves to properly thank their deity. At long last, here it is, the cremation of care unveiled.
The owl is in his leafy temple. Let all within the grove be reverent before him. Weaving spiders, come not here.
Dear boon companions of the long ago,
Aye, let them join us in this ritual.
cast your spell over these mortals. As vanished Babylon and goodly Tyre, so shall they also vanish.
By the power of your fellowship, dull care is slain. His body has been brought yonder from the funeral pyre to the joyous pipings of a funeral march.
Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
O great owl of Bohemia, we thank thee for thy adjuration.
This is just unbelievably macabre and evil. There you see the funeral pyre burning with the effigy of a human, or it could be real, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the establishment is into, the cremation of care. And this was July 15th, 2000.
There had to be, in my belief, an occultist, a deep occultist, who designed each of the elements of this ceremony. It wasn't just a bunch of guys sit together at a bar and said, hey, let's have a good time, the cremation of care, and why don't we do this or that. I believe it was purposely designed, each element in its turn, for what they did.
I'm here to tell you truth is stranger than fiction.
But wait! There's more!
I love everything Josh.
I get possessed by the spirits.
Our next question is by Marina Abramovic in New York.
I was just speaking about her today. I am obsessed with this woman. She is so incredible. Sometimes they don't want to, and they're, you know, Gaga, we can't get, you know, the frequency's weird, and, you know, it's sounding a little bit strange. And I'm like, if you don't get this right now, I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
I swear to Lucifer, I'm gonna.
Character. I was always so open to everything. What is most interesting